What's going on, Bitcoin? Guys, we're looking right now at a little bit of a dip that's being created. We went to sleep, everything looked kind of fine. Then it ran up. Now we're looking at a gigantic sort of correction. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
Trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. I'm always right.
All right, guys, the market is currently sitting at 31,608, and you can see right here we just had a massive sell down in the last 20 minutes from 31,780 all the way down to 31,570. Now, starting to see some people catching back up, trying to get this price action to go back to the upside, but we are looking at sell signals happening right now. Could this be the start of that push down? Now, the next line of support is sitting right here at 31.83, and it looks like we bounced off twice, tested that level, and now it's cascading back down and not holding the line. So there's a lot of sell-off happening right now. Could we be witnessing what we've been talking about for a little while? Could this be the move to the downside on Bitcoin and Ethereum to those lower levels? Well, let's look at some of the news and let's see what's been going on for the last couple of days. Then we'll make a decision based on that. Mega bullish signal or real breakdown. 5 things to know in Bitcoin this week. Can Bitcoin avoid 10 weeks of red? Now, if you're not paying attention, then you will notice here that for 9 weeks now, Bitcoin has been in the red. It's the first time in history that Bitcoin has been in the red for 9 straight weeks. That's over 2 months right now of losing. And this goes back to when Bitcoin was trading at about 46,500, coming in all the way down here towards a bottom of 28,000. So does that mean that we're going to move back towards that upside? And I think the answer is we're going to have to get to that low. And until we test how low this thing really goes, then I think that we're probably going to have a little bit of fight. And we're about 3,000 away from that low. So that would indicate to me that we are probably going to start hitting some bottom pretty soon. I don't see that we've got the support right now. I don't see that we've got the trading right now to support the level that we're currently sitting at. So let's see what happens in the next short term. Stock rebound is a bear market rally. With the United States market closed for a public holiday on May 30th, it will be up to Europe and Asia to dictate the day's mood. Now, that dictated pretty well over the course of that period of time. And you can see here on the Dow that the Dow closed in closed trading to 33,212, which puts it up on the 1 day, the 5 day, and the 1 month. So the trend is starting to reverse in the United States on the stock market, but we're going to need a little bit more pump in order to get to a 6-month sort of number or a year-to-date sort of number, which, you know, we're still trending down 10% over the course of the last year. So there's a lot of nervous sentiment going around. The Fed meets on Wednesday, that's tomorrow, but today the Fed, Jerome Powell, chairman of the Fed, is going to meet with Joe Biden, and they're going to have a conversation. I'm sure the conversation is going to be about economic recovery. The original meeting was to congratulate Jerome Powell for being elected to another term, but I believe that we're going to see some conversation about where this market is going to go next. So let's pay attention to that. Also, the dollar coming to test support levels through the past week has been the strength of the U.S. dollar. After surging to levels not seen since December of 2002, the U.S. dollar index is finally coming back down to earth and ever challenging its year uptrend. This may still act as a silver lining for risk assets should the trend continue, as inverse correlation has worked in Bitcoin's favor in the past. Here is what I think is probably the most important part. Not everyone is bearish among Bitcoin analysts, and one of them, crypto quant CEO Kai-Young Zhu, has the data to prove why. Uploading the latest readings from Bitcoin's realized capital distribution, Key argued that, in fact, Bitcoin is currently at a similar stage to March 2020. Realized cap reflects the price at which each Bitcoin last moved and can be broken down into age band. These in turn show the proportion of the Bitcoin supply that make up its realized cap, which last moved a certain length of time ago. Right now, 62% of the realized cap involves unspent transaction outputs from 6 months ago or longer. For key, this signifies floor territory for Bitcoin price, as has been the case historically and most significantly during the March 2020 COVID crash. Bitcoin is close to the cyclic bottom. That's the important part. Now, does that mean we're going to get that big bounce? Now, well, the hope is obviously that we're going to get that big bounce, but we're going to see. Moving on. Bitcoin faces an uphill battle despite Bitcoin price gaining 35% from the 23.8 bottom. A giant sell well appears at 33,500 as Bitcoin's rise, which succeeded in surprising some, comes under close scrutiny. So what we're seeing right now, and we're not, by the way, our next level of support was 32.5, not the 31.8 that we were talking about a little while ago. The biggest level is 32.5. That's the resistance that we're facing right now. And it doesn't seem like we're getting a push into that territory or even coming close to that territory. The consolidation seems to move to the downside, and we're not pushing it back upwards. So also, it should be noted that for the last several days, we've had a nice run, which would indicate that a lot of people are going to start taking their profits. And unless we get an impetus, then it's going to be difficult to make that push and get back to the 40s. So keep that in mind. And lastly, Bitcoin shows signs of bottoming out after 9 weeks of losses. So they are recognizing it. The Yahoo Finance, at least, is finally recognizing that as we speak, we have reached that 9-week trend, and it looks like we're starting to bounce back to the upside. Readings on the relative strength index, a tool used by traders to calculate the magnitude of an asset's price move, has fallen to nearly 30, suggesting signs of bottoming out. Short-term buyers could add to this week's momentum. Sentiment data from last week's already suggests that the market may be headed for higher prices in the coming weeks. So it's possible that we're sitting at the lowest period, and maybe right now we're going to get a bounce. But let's move on. Let's talk about it. Guys, there's a lot of nervous sentiment in the market right now. Are we going to go to that upside? Are we going to test some further bottoms? Now, if the data is correct, then what it's telling us is that we have already tested that bottom, and that's somewhere in that 28 range. So we're not going to go any lower than that. But historically, the numbers still predicate that we are going to test 21,000 and that Ethereum is going to test 1,200. So the next few hours are probably going to be key support. But you know what? Bitcoin trading, Ethereum trading, all of this stuff is a never-ending cycle. Guys, make sure that you are stabled when you need to be stable. Make sure that you're invested when you need to be invested. Make sure that you're taking profits at all time. Do this thing the way that it should be done, the method that it should be done, and we're all going to have success. Best of luck in your trading. My name is Bleaves. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.
I'm looking for the good life, sitting on top